we are going to talk about SAP Fiori today. Okay, so what we have discussed in the earlier two sessions, in the first session, we understood what exactly is SAP S4HANA, and we discussed that within SAP S4HANA, the most important key enablers of SAP S4HANA is SAP HANA as a database and SAP Fiori as a user interface. So we already discussed what is SAP HANA, what are the benefits of SAP HANA compared to the traditional databases. And what we are going to talk about today is what exactly is SAP Fiori. Okay, so we already discussed SAP Fiori is a new user interface, which means the way in which we were able to generate the transactions and reports in SAP ECC, it was not very user friendly. Okay, so there were a lot of fields which we need to maintain. There were a lot of difficult screens that we were using, and the customers are expecting simpler screens where they can use the transactions in the simpler way. They can use their transactions and reports using mobile devices and tabs instead of computers and laptops. And that is the reason SAP came up with SAP Fiori. So in short, this SAP S4HANA uses SAP HANA in the background, which means the backend is on SAP HANA database. And from the front end point of view, SAP uses SAP Fiori as a new user interface. So let me take you to the system now and show you how exactly SAP S4HANA looks like. Okay, so for that, let me connect to the server. Okay, so this is the server. If you see, let me just log off and log in again to just show you how exactly this will look like. So just give me a minute. Okay, so I am logging off from the screen. So you can see the first thing, whenever you want to log in into SAP system, even in SAP ECC, we had this logon pad. Okay, so the logon pad that we were using, you can maybe you are using logon pad 6 point something or maybe 7.1, 7.2. But in this particular server, we are using the logon pad, which is the latest one, that is 7.5. Okay, so this logon pad is 7.5, which means if I double click on this, this application will also look completely new because of the new user interface. But this is not Fiori. This is just a traditional GUI with the latest pad. Okay, so that is 7.5. So now if I just enter the user ID and password, similar to whatever we were doing in SAP ECC, this is exactly same. You enter your username, you enter your password, and then you enter the login language. So everything is same. You are providing the client, you are providing the username, you are providing the password, and then the login language. Now if I press enter, just ignore this message and click continue. Okay, once I press enter, the screens that you are able to see, these are exactly the same screens that you were able to see in SAP ECC, right? So if I go for SPRO, you are still able to see the all the components which are available in SAP ECC. Only thing what would be new is some of the things which are not available in SAP ECC. For example, this conversion of accounting to SAP S4HANA. This is something which you will only find in S4HANA. This will not be available in SAP ECC application. Similarly, within the components or within the folders, let's say for financial accounting, again you may find some things which are not available, which were earlier available in ECC, and you may find there are some things which were not available in ECC, but now they are available in S4HANA. Okay, so those things we will discuss in detail, but as of now, just try to understand that although we are again and again saying that SAP S4HANA works on new user interface, that is SAP Fiori, but actually speaking, when we are logging into SAP, we are not able to see much of difference, right? The user interface is just same as we were using earlier. So for example, if I want to create a invoice or if I want to post a general ledger document, I can still go to financial accounting, I can go to general ledger, document entry, and I double click on this. So not much of changes, the screens are also same. Okay, so then why we are saying the screens are simpler? Why we are saying we'll be able to execute our transactions on mobile devices and your tabs? Okay, we are saying that because although SAP provides this traditional GUI, but in addition to this, SAP also provides SAP Fiori screen. Let me show you how you can connect to SAP Fiori. So I'm just logging back with my traditional GUI. Traditional GUI means the graphical user interface that we were using earlier. Okay, so this is a traditional GUI. Now, if I want to log in into SAP Fiori, SAP Fiori is available as web-based. Okay, web-based means you will be, whenever you will be double clicking on this link. Okay, let's say if I double click on this link, this will get open in the browser. Okay, so if you are getting this message, just click on continue to the website and it will ask you this information. Okay, so this is SAP Fiori screen, which is available in the Explorer, either Internet Explorer or Google Chrome or any browser that you can use. You will be asked to provide the username, password, and language. Okay, so very much similar. What we were doing in traditional GUI is we were providing our user ID, our password, and language, but there was one more thing, which was a client. Now, why system is not asking for the client here? Okay, does it mean there are no client concept in SAP S/4HANA? Definitely not. Client concept is exactly same as ECC. Then why client is not asked? The reason is the client is already included in this link. Okay, when you are going to this SAP Fiori browser, in this link which you are trying to use, there is already the client address mentioned here. So for example, for client 400, this is a link. For client, let's say 500, okay, let's say if I want to log in into client 500, then definitely I'll not use this link. There will be something different in this link. That is the reason system is not asking for client, but otherwise the concept is same. So again, I have to enter the user ID and password here. But is this user ID and password different, or it is going to be same that I used in my traditional GUI transaction? So whatever user ID and password I'm using here, I have to use the same user ID and password, or I need a separate user ID and password for Fiori? The answer is same user ID and password has to be provided here in SAP Fiori also. So my user ID is this, and my password is whatever I entered earlier, and I can select the language. If I click on log on, okay, it will open the new screen, which is called as a launchpad, SAP Fiori launchpad. Okay, so in short, what I told you is in SAP S/4HANA, there are two ways of accessing the transactions. You can continue to access the older way. So you can go here and you can open a particular transaction like LB50 or LB60 and perform the transaction. Or you can also go through SAP Fiori, and for creating the invoices or making the normal GL document, there are SAP Fiori apps available here which can be also used. Okay, now obviously SAP Fiori apps are the new apps, which is always better to use compared to the traditional GUI that we were using. Okay, so it is up to you, up to the customer, whether they want to use traditional GUI or they want to use SAP Fiori screens. Okay, so let me just show you how exactly this SAP Fiori works now. So just give me a minute. Okay, so now in this SAP Fiori screen, you can see there are different tabs. Don't worry about this. This is a new setup. We implemented this 1809 just now. So we need to perform some activities on SAP Fiori before they start working. So we will do this when we need to perform the transactions. But as of now, just remember, when I logged in with my user ID and password, I am able to see some of the apps. Okay, you can see I can see approvals, I can see maybe sales configuration also I'm able to do. I'm also able to perform the implementation cockpit. And if you just click here, it will tell you whatever different things you are able to do. So you are able to do procurement related transactions. I'm able to do cash related transactions. Now this is because my user ID is assigned to all these different roles. Okay, but normally when you log in into SAP Fiori, the end user who is responsible for purchasing, he will be only able to see purchasing related transactions. Okay, the salesperson, he will be only able to use sales related transactions because this Fiori is completely role based. Okay, I'll give you the example. So let's say when I log in next time into SAP Fiori, I don't want to see all these things. I just want to see procurement related transactions, nothing else. Okay, so in that case, what I need to do is I need to go to this SU01 transaction. Okay, and in SU01, I have to provide my user ID, which is again very much similar to what we were doing in SAP ECC. This is role-based concept, right? And if I want to change, so I'll go to the change mode. In the roles, you can see there are a lot of roles assigned to my ID, and that is the reason there are different things available under my Launchpad. So for example, I want to remove all this. I don't want this AP manager, BPC expert. Okay, buyer, yes. Let's say I'll go with buyer. So just a minute, why it is not allowing me to select multiple? Yeah, okay. So I want this buyer and all others, or maybe I want to use this purchaser and all others I want to delete. So all this plus, sorry, just give me a minute. I'm just trying to find out which button I should use. So, okay, let's do one thing. I want to delete this first. Okay, so I'll click on this delete button. Okay, and then I want to select this. Okay, let's do one by one. So delete, delete, delete. Okay, so I think this much are enough. So only this much roles I want to give to my user, and all other roles which were available earlier. You can see here sales, implementation, cockpit, everything is available here. But as soon as I remove these rules from the user, if I click on save, now if I just come here and do refresh, it will only show us the apps which are relevant for those particular rules. You can see this, now the list is very small. Okay, so only transactions related to purchasing, sales, FI, everything has been deleted. Okay, so this is what is going to happen normally in the organization. Any user who will be logging into SAP Fiori screen, he will be only able to see those transactions which he is authorized to. Okay, so someone from the purchasing department, he is not expected to see anything in sales. Someone in the sales department, they don't need to have a vendor invoice and customer invoice screen. They just are concerned with the sales order process, right? So according to the user, you can provide the roles in this same old transaction that we were using earlier. Okay, so, but let me tell you one more thing. I hope till now it is clear. Any question till now before I talk about this role concept in detail? Any questions? Okay. If no questions, as I told you, based on these roles, system is able to determine what should be available here. Now, does it mean that if I have this role of purchaser in traditional GUI, okay, let's say in traditional GUI means this screen. So if I'm able to, let's say, execute, if I go to the new GUI window, here I'm able to execute FD60 without any problem. I have the authorization. But in SAP Fiori, I don't have the authorization for creating the vendor invoice. So why this is so? Why system is not allowing me to have the same authorizations that I have in traditional GUI? So irrespective of what authorizations you have in traditional GUI, it is not necessarily that automatically in SAP Fiori also same authorization will be applicable, because the roles which you are assigning to the user, there are completely independent roles for SAP Fiori. Okay, so even if you have SAP All Access, let's say if you see this, if I go to profiles, I have SAP All Access, but this SAP All Access will only allow me to access the transactions in the traditional GUI. If I want to have any transactional access in SAP Fiori, I have to assign those relevant roles. Okay, so these roles are very important from SAP Fiori point of view. Okay, so as I told you, roles are independent for traditional GUI and SAP Fiori. So SAP Fiori role will only allow you to see the transactions here. It will not allow you anything in the traditional GUI. Similarly, traditional GUI transactions or roles will only allow you to access the screen in traditional GUI, and it will not allow you to have anything in SAP Fiori. Okay, this is about the role concept, and that is the reason SAP Fiori apps are called as role based. This is completely role based. Okay, coming to the second thing in SAP Fiori, it is the type of apps that you have. Basically, SAP Fiori apps are divided into three types. Okay, so SAP Fiori apps types. Number one are transactional apps. Number two are analytical apps. And number three are fact sheets. Okay, so what is the difference? Transactional apps, as the name itself is saying, they are used to perform the transactions. For example, you want to book an invoice, you want to create a purchase order, you want to delete a purchase order, you want to issue the output of the purchase order. So these are all transactional apps. Analytical apps are those apps which allows you to perform basic reporting. Okay, which means I want to see the list of all the vendors, I want to see the list of all the customers. So that is analytical apps. And fact sheets are kind of dashboards. Okay, dashboard means what? Dashboard means one single report which gives you the complete idea. It tells you who are your top 25 customers. It tells you which customers are not paying on time. So looking at one single report, you will be able to get lot of information. That is called as a fact sheet. Normally for top management, they are always looking at the fact sheets. They are not going to look at individual analytical apps. Okay, so for top management, we create these fact sheets. So they are able to see everything at one single place instead of going for different analytical apps. Okay, so just remember, there are three types of Fiori apps: transactional, analytical, and fact sheets. Okay, so what we discussed is, we discussed what are the different types of apps. We discussed that in SAP S4HANA, even in 1809, we are looking at 1809 currently. Even in 1809 also, we have both the options available. Customers can use traditional screens or they can use SAP Fiori screens. The user ID and password of both will be same. For Fiori, system will not ask you for client, because for each and every client there is a separate IP available. Okay, and that is the reason system will not ask you for any client. Okay, any questions? Any questions now? Okay, if not, let's go to the next one. So next one, I'll tell you how to access SAP Fiori Launchpad. Okay, so
Hello.
yes.
Gaurav, yeah, Sandeep here. Gaurav.
Yes, Sandeep.
So, yeah, Gaurav, in this Fiori apps, can we do the configuration also?
Using Fiori apps, there is some basic configuration available, not fully now. Okay, because the
Okay.
idea is to learn this configuration. Okay, which means first SAP wants to make the life easier for the end users. Okay, once all the end users are able to execute their transactions and reports from SAP Fiori, then only SAP will think from the consultant's perspective that let's now make life easy for the consultants also, and they will be able to perform the configuration using simpler screens. Okay, but as of now, most of the configurations are only available via SPRO. Only few configurations can be accessed via the Fiori screens.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, any other question? Okay, if not, let me tell you how to access this Fiori. So what I have done currently is I logged in into SAP. Okay, and from here I double clicked on this particular link to connect to SAP Fiori Launchpad. Now, luckily, this was available in my favorites. Now, let's say you are trying to work on SAP S4HANA system. How will you find the Fiori link? How can you connect to the Fiori? So, first thing is you will ask your Fiori consultant or maybe your ABAP basis consultant to provide you this link. Okay, so they will provide you this link which will connect you to SAP S4HANA system via Fiori. Okay, but let's say even if they are not able to provide you this link, you can try one more option. Again, it is not 100% valid. It may happen that you are not able to find that link even after you write this transaction. The transaction is slash UI2 slash FLP. Okay, so just go for slash UI2 slash FLP. FLP means Fiori Launchpad. If you just press enter, see, sometimes you will get this message, this function is not possible. Okay, so the other way of looking into it is you go to transaction SE93, which is a transaction to access the transaction codes. And if you just write here slash UI2 and slash FLP, okay, so you'll be able to see this transaction and just click on test. Okay, so it will connect you to the Fiori screen. Okay, so you can try using this transaction slash UI2 slash FLP, or if you are not able to connect via this, then the only option is go to your Fiori consultant and request for the link which should be used to connect to the system. Okay. Another thing, what do you mean by Fiori? Okay, Fiori means it is a, I think, French word for flower. Okay, and that is the reason when you are trying to connect to Fiori, whenever you are clicking on continue to this website, this first screen, okay, in this case it is already logged in, but let's say if I just click on log off, so here is log off, sign out. Okay, again let's say even this page is logged off. So now if I go back to Fiori Launchpad screen again, okay, close this and go to this one, continue to this website. See, this is flower. Okay, the reason why it is always shows the flower is SAP Fiori stands for flower. So just remember, this is not going to be asked in the exam and all, but just for your information, Fiori means flower. Okay, so according to SAP, why they are saying this, why they named this product as Fiori, because it is uh, easy to use, and from the visibility point of view also they are calling it as a beautiful user experience. Okay, that is the reason they named this product as SAP Fiori. Okay, so now by knowing this, let's do the last thing. We already understood that based on our authorizations. So if I go for my login, Now, based on my user ID and based on the roles which are assigned to my user ID, I am able to see all these apps. Some of the apps are transactional apps. For example, manage purchase contracts. This is a transactional app because it will allow me to create a contract. It will allow me to change a contract. Okay. Similarly, if I go for another app, let's say for example, yeah, purchasing documents by requirement. So this is the analytical app, which will give me the list of purchasing documents by the requirement type. Okay, similarly, this is analytical. And the third one is the fact sheet. So this procurement overview page is a fact sheet. If I click on, I don't know whether it will work or not in this system because we are still not activated. So if I click on this, this will actually give me the complete picture of the overall procurement department. So how many purchase requisitions are pending for approval? How many purchase orders are pending for approval? What are the total number of suppliers who are performing good? Which are my top 25 suppliers? So those kind of reports, which are only possible in BW or BI till now, those kind of reports will be available here in the overview page. So if you remember, yesterday we discussed this in detail, that in ECC, if you want to perform the reports in the graphical format, if you want to see the bar charts, pie charts in the reporting, that was not possible in the main core system. You need to transfer the data from ECC to BW, and in BW you can perform the reports. But now within SAP S4HANA, there is something called as embedded BW, based on which there are this kind of fact sheets available, which will provide you analytical reports right in the core system itself. Okay, so we will see some examples when we talk about the financial processes. I'll show you some of the apps which we can use for the dashboard purpose or the fact sheet purpose. Okay, so in short, some of the transactions are, some of the apps are transactional apps, some of the apps are analytical apps, and the remaining apps are fact sheets. Okay, now when I provided the access to this user, let's say again, let me delete all this to avoid any kind of confusion. So first I will click on display change, and then I will keep on deleting this. So I'm in the display mode here. So let's change. Now I'm in the change mode. So select this, delete, select this, delete. Okay, these two are common. I'm not going to delete this. Just click on save. Okay, so now again, if I go back and do the refresh here, there might be more number of apps which will go away because I removed those roles. Now my question is, if I'm assigning just this single role to my user, okay, currently there is only one role which is actually providing the apps. These two roles are common roles. This will be required if you want to activate Fiori for the user. Okay, but only this role is providing you the access of this many number of apps. Okay, this many number of groups and this many number of apps. So where exactly all these apps are connected to this role, right? This is a role. I'm just providing the access of this role, and it is allowing me to have the access of this many number of apps. So definitely in the role, there must be the link to all these apps. So let's see how it works. If I double click on this role, it will take me to the role screen. Okay, so this is display roles. And within the display roles, if I go to menu, I'll be able to see the catalogs and groups. Okay, don't worry, I'll talk about this. What is catalog, what is group? So within the role, you have different catalogs and different groups. So just for example, if I double click on this purchasing contract management, you can see this is SAP Fiori tile catalog. Okay, it is SAP Fiori tile catalog, and the object name is this one, SAP underscore PRC underscore BC underscore purchaser underscore PUC. What is this? This is a catalog. Now what is a catalog? So let me show you where exactly you will find this catalog. I'm just clicking on copying this, copy, and let's go to new Jira window. And again, I have a shortcut for this. This is called as Fiori Launchpad Designer. See, normally these things what I'm showing you will be done by your Fiori consultant. I'm just giving you the overview so that whenever you are speaking to your Fiori consultant, you also know what he's going to do in the background. Okay, so you just click on this Fiori Launchpad Designer, click on this. So this is our Fiori Launchpad Designer. Now you can see in the Fiori Launchpad Designer, there are two sections, catalogs and groups. Okay, so currently we are in the catalogs tab and we already copied this catalog, right? From the roles, this is one of the catalog. So we copied this catalog and let's open that catalog here. So I will just enter this catalog ID here and press on this search button. Okay, so system is showing this catalog. Just click on this catalog and it will tell you what are the different apps available in this catalog. Okay, so now let's say I want to add. So currently, if I go to purchasing contract management, sorry, if I go to purchase contract processing, see, I'm able to see this many number of apps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I think they are not divided here, but those 9 are out of this. So for example, if I want to add a new one, I can click on add tile and I can add a new app. So what will happen? It will automatically be assigned to the user because the flow is like this. So if we talk about SAP authorizations, the flow is like this. Your user ID is assigned to what? Roles, right? Your user ID is assigned to roles. Roles are assigned to what? Catalogs. Within the catalogs, there are groups. And within the groups, there are tiles. Or you can call it as apps. Okay, so how these apps are assigned to the user? Apps are assigned to the user via groups, catalogs, and roles. So you can combine one or more apps into groups, one or more groups into catalogs, one or more catalogs into roles, and one or more roles you can assign to the user. This is very important from the certification exam point of view. They always ask the question on catalogs and groups. So you need to understand that apps are clubbed together into groups, groups are clubbed together into the catalogs, catalogs are grouped to the roles, and roles are assigned to the user. Okay. So let's go back again to our Fiori Launchpad. So in our Fiori Launchpad, we just now discussed that based on the role that you are assigning to your user, you will be able to see the screen. Now in this particular case, we are not able to see anything related to finance. Okay, so for example, we want to create a GL account. Simple, we want to create a GL account. But we are not able to see any app to create a GL account here. So what should we do in that case? We need to have a proper role. Now, who remembers the role? These are all new roles, right? How will you find the list of roles which you are to assign to the user out of thousands of roles available from SAP? So in order to find out which role will be required, SAP has provided a link which is called as SAP Fiori. Okay, let me enter this in Google. So this particular link which I'm showing you, this is a favorite link for SAP Fiori consultants. SAP Fiori library, SAP Fiori apps library. Okay, so just click on SAP Fiori apps library. It will open this Fiori apps library.hana.ondemand.com. It's taking too much time. Maybe let's refresh this page and see. Okay, let's try on Chrome. Should not take that much time. So I'm going to Google. Okay, it's already open. So SAP Fiori apps library. Click on this. I think it is open even now. No, not yet. So let's close this and see on. Yeah. Okay, so you can see it is giving you the collection of all the apps. Okay, so which app we want? We want app to create a GL. Now again, you don't know what would be the name given to that particular app, whether it is create GL or maintain GL or whatever. Okay, so what you can do is you can, if you remember the T code of your earlier SAP screen, just write FS00 here and click on search. Okay, so it will automatically find the particular edit GL account is the name of that particular app. Okay, so just click on this edit GL account. This will give you the complete details of that particular app. Okay, and what you can do is just go to the implementation information. For you need to select a version. Okay, so on which version you want to see the role. So just select a particular version. If you are working on 1809, you will be selecting 1809. If you want maybe for 1610, 1709, then you can select a particular version here. Once the version is selected, you can just click on this configuration, and within configuration, you will find a role. Let me show you where exactly you will find a role. I think they changed something now in the, because even last time I was not able to find a role. Let's go to 1709 and see if the role appears here. It is showing the catalog, but it is not showing the role. Just give me a minute. Let me find out. In the product information, no, definitely not. So till 1709, it was always available here, business catalog, and then there was a business role. But now they changed something here, and that's the reason I'm not able to find the role. But let's see. Let's see in the installation. No. Let's go to support and see. I don't think even it will be in the support. Okay, let's try some other transaction here. So let's go for ME21N, which is to create a purchase order. Okay, and let's go for this one, create purchase order advanced and all. So normally in the implementation information itself, you have this configuration tab, and in the configuration tab, you can see the roles. Okay, so in some of the apps, they removed this. I don't know the reason, but in some of the apps, there is no role available. Then in that case, it is really very difficult to find out which role we should assign to the user. But anyways, even if you are stuck somewhere, you are not able to understand which roles to be assigned, then definitely you have to go to Fiori consultant and he will provide you the necessary role. And again, taking that role, you have to go to the security consultant and you have to tell him, please assign this role to my user. Okay, so this is how you can find out a role which will be required to be given to the end user if he wants to access that particular transaction. Okay, so now you are clear about what is SAP Fiori Apps Library. Okay, if yes, any questions before we go to the slide?
Varun here.
Yes, Varun.
So one particular transaction can be assigned to multiple roles, right? I think
one particular transaction can be assigned to multiple roles. Yes, perfect.
okay.
So for example, there are two different roles, but they have the same transaction. See, role concept is same as SAP ECC. Even in SAP ECC also, we can have two roles where there is a common transaction. So that is completely fine. Even in S4HANA, it is completely fine from the Fiori perspective. also.
Okay, okay, Gaurav.
Yes. Okay, so now let me just show you the slides and see if we missed any topic. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me disconnect this and connect to the slides. Okay, so we are here on SAP Fiori. So why SAP Fiori? It's a new generation expectations. New generation is expecting that they don't want to do the transactions sitting in front of computers and laptops and doing the transactions. They are not okay to have the very complicated user screens. They are demanding for the simpler user interface where they can do their transactions from any devices. Okay, so you can see these points. Point number one, technology is constantly evolving at the rapid pace. Most people are equipped with at least one mobile device, and even a small children know how to navigate a mobile device. Right? So this new evolution has become a new standard, and that's the reason customers are demanding the same ease in operating their business processes also. Okay, so nowadays, whatever transactions we are doing, banking, whatever ticket booking and all, we are doing everything on the mobile. So even customers are demanding, why not we can also do our business processes on the mobile device. So SAP Fiori is a new SAP face for all SAP products to the business users for all devices. So the answer from SAP is use SAP Fiori, which will allow you to do all your transactions, even the business process transactions from your mobile devices. Okay, so again, when it comes to SAP Fiori, what are the three different kind of applications? Okay, so one is we understood three different app types, which is transactional, analytical, and fact sheet. This is not the apps type. This is actually which are the different kind of tiles which are provided by SAP. So SAP has divided the apps into three types. One is new, second is renew, and third one is enable. Let me explain what do you mean by new, renew, and enable. So in SAP Fiori, you will find some apps which were never available in SAP ECC. Okay, so for example, we discussed about analytical reports, the graphical charts and all those things. They were never available in SAP ECC. So those things are completely new. There are some things which are renew. Renew means they are already available in ECC, but now new screen is provided. So for example, you can create a GL in ECC also. Now you can create in SAP Fiori. So that is renew. And then there are some screens which were never possible in SAP ECC, which were not possible even in SAP Fiori standard delivered content. But if you want to create your own Fiori screens, like a Z code that we were creating in SAP ECC, those things are called as enable. So even you can create your own Fiori apps, Z Fiori apps, by using the Fiori tool, and those apps will fall under enablement. Okay, so new means something which was not available in ECC, which are completely new apps. Renew means something which was already available, but the new screens are available now, improved screens. And third one is enable, which means the screens which are not available in both, but you can, as a customer, develop your own Fiori apps. Okay, so this is the SAP's new user experience strategy. Let's go to the next one. So these are some of the design principles of SAP Fiori. Again, very important question from exam point of view. First one is it is role based. We just now discussed why it is role based, because only apps which are authorized for a particular user are provided to the user in the form of roles. Okay, so it is completely role based. If the role is assigned to your user ID, then only you will be able to see those apps. Second is responsive. Responsive means it can work on any device. Okay, so no device restriction, no operating system restriction, no browser restriction. You can work from mobile device, you can work from tab, you can work from Internet Explorer, you can work from Google Chrome, you can work from Safari, you can work from Windows, you can work from Linux. Okay, so there is no restriction. That is the reason it is called as responsive. Third one is simple. The main reason why SAP came up with SAP Fiori is to make it simple. Less number of fields, okay, and less time to do the transactions. Coherent, it means it provides one fluid seamless experience. What exactly it means is, maybe in the next slide I have this example. So this one, this if you see the bottom screen, what is happening if you have a user who wants to do the transaction in the ECC system, he has to log in into the ECC system separately. And he wants to do the transaction in CRM, again he has to open another screen, perform the login, and then only he can access the CRM. But now with SAP Fiori, you can, in one single screen, you can have one app which is actually coming from your ECC and another app which is coming from CRM. So you don't need to log in 2 times. Using one single logon screen, you can be able to perform the transactions from multiple different systems. Okay, so that is coherent. You can see coherent means it is connecting to different systems. And last one, because of all these functionalities, it is delightful. Okay, so the customers will be happy according to SAP. I'm not saying whether they will be happy or not, but according to SAP, using all these functionalities, customers will be happy. They will be having good experience to use SAP compared to the traditional screens, which are very difficult to operate. Okay, so these are SAP Fiori design principles. Let's go to the next one. Normally the question is asked, maybe they will give the options. Out of the below, how many are the Fiori design principles? So they will give you, let's say, 4 options and you need to select 3. So you need to remember all this while to crack that question. Okay, so this is just for example. You can see today it is function-based application. What do you mean by function-based application? So one single screen, let's say when you want to, let's take an example, you want to maintain the vendor master data. So vendor master data is maintained by sales department, it's maintained by purchase department, and it is also maintained by FI department. Okay, so accounting section is by FI, sales related information from SD, and procurement related information from MM. But the transaction code is same, MM01. Okay, but now SAP in SAP Fiori, they provided 3 different screens. One screen for maintaining the FI related information, second for SD related information, and third for MM related information. Okay, that is the reason they are calling it as a role based. And then this one I just now explained you earlier. You have these 2 different systems. You need to connect these 2 systems independently. Now with SAP Fiori, you can have 2 different systems which are connected via SAP Fiori in one single screen. Okay, so this is an example of coherent. Let's go to the next one. This is just a screenshot how the older screens looks like vis-a-vis how the new screens will be visible. Okay, even the analytics and all will come into the new screens. Types of apps we discussed, we already seen in the system. So there are 3 different kinds of apps. Transactional apps which allows you to perform the transactions. Okay, so I give you the example. Let's say you want to create a GL, or you want to post a financial document, or you want to make a payment. These are all transactional apps. Okay, one thing you need to remember is Fiori, do you think, okay, let's go away from the topic. Do you think SAP Fiori was also available on SAP ECC? In SAP ECC, whether SAP Fiori was available or not?
Available.
Available, right? SAP Fiori was available to ECC customers also, provided they are using the latest version, maybe I think EHP 7 onwards. Okay, so just few years back, SAP also provided SAP Fiori can be used from ECC system. But again, if you are using SAP Fiori on SAP ECC, the condition is for transactional apps, it can work on any database. But if you are using analytical and fact sheets on SAP ECC, the prerequisite is it must be on HANA database. So your analytical and fact sheets will only work on SAP ECC if you are using SAP HANA database, otherwise it will not work. Okay, but we don't need to worry about this because in SAP S4HANA, all this will work: transactional, analytical, and fact sheet. Also, one more thing, although SAP Fiori was available on SAP ECC, but it was only around 5 to 10% of what is available today. So we are not saying SAP Fiori is available as it is in SAP ECC. No, it was only 5 to 10% of the transactions, which are most commonly used transactions. Those were available in SAP ECC also. Now this is little bit technical, how to activate the Fiori apps. So maybe I'll just explain on the overview because we are not going to do this actually in the system. So last one we already know. In transaction SU01, we need to assign the role to the user. Okay, but there are two more things which are normally done by your Fiori consultant or basis consultants. So transaction SICF, this is not a new transaction. Even in SAP ECC also you have this SICF transaction which was available, which was required to activate or deactivate a particular service. Okay, because SAP Fiori uses OData services in the background. Okay, SAP Fiori uses OData services in the background. What does it mean? It means whenever you will be doing any transaction using SAP Fiori, through OData services, it will go and call the backend tables, okay, which are available in ABAP. So before you use any SAP Fiori app, you have to activate that OData services. Okay, and that is the reason you can see here when we were trying to do any transaction in SAP Fiori. Let me show you. So whenever we are trying to, you can see there are a lot of errors. Why these errors? Because the front end screen is available, but this is still not connected to the backend server because OData service is still not activated for this app. Okay, so in order to make sure that this is executed, you need to activate the OData services. Okay, so OData services can be activated by using these two transactions, SICF and Mint service. Okay, this is just for the information purpose. Don't try to execute this even in the test server and definitely not in your production server because this is something which can be done mainly by basis or Fiori consultants. Okay, and the last slide is SAP Fiori apps library, which I've shown you. So you have this link. I already shared this slides with all of you yesterday. Okay, so you can click on this link and it will automatically connect you to the SAP Fiori apps library where you can go and find a particular app. Okay, if you see the app, then you can go for finding out which role is responsible, which catalog is responsible. You can get all that information. Okay, and even this link is very important in the sense like today, if you know whatever Fiori apps are available, if you go after 1 week, you may find there are new apps available and old apps are gone. Okay, so this link will always provide you the latest information on SAP Fiori. Okay, any questions?
Hey Gaurav, this is Amit here.
Yes, Amit.
I haven't received any communication from you since yesterday.
Sorry, Amit?
I'm saying that I haven't received any mail from you.
Maybe Krishna was supposed to send that mail to you. I'll check with him.
Okay.
Yes. Because I sent, not yesterday actually, I got late. I shared in the afternoon today. But I'll ask Krishna to forward it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Gaurav, Sandeep here.
Yes.
So Gaurav, I have a query regarding the how we'll access this Fiori link or apps in our others device. Suppose from SAP log on, we have a URL. So from that URL, we are coming to the others browser, right? But when we access it from the mobile or any tab, so should we just have to use the link provided by the Fiori consultant or any apps or anything is there to help this?
Okay. First of all, although it is provided, SAP Fiori is provided to be accessed from mobile devices and tabs. But if you go with the industry, as of now, people are not using that much information on the mobiles and tabs. Okay, but let me tell you, possibility is there. It is possible to access the Fiori apps from mobiles and tabs also. But again, if you remember yesterday also I told you, it doesn't mean that each and everything you will be doing from mobile. For example, if you want to book an invoice or if you want to create a purchase order, definitely that things you will never like to do on the mobile device. What would you like to do on the mobile device is like approvals, which is just one click. You got a notification, you need to approve or reject. Those kind of things can be easily done from Fiori apps on your mobile. So again, for that, your Fiori consultant will provide you the necessary app. Okay, so there are apps available in the library. Even you can download SAP Fiori app also from the Apple Store or even from the uh, Google Store also. But you need to connect that with your organizational Fiori link. Okay, otherwise, whatever you are able to see there, that is completely dummy. Okay, so your Fiori consultant will help you out in setting up the Fiori link on your mobile device or your tab.
Okay, okay, Gaurav. Fine, thanks.
Okay, but still, if you are using this link, which is provided by SAP Fiori consultant, again, it is possible that the same link is working on your mobile, provided when Fiori consultant has configured that link, there are options whether it should be opened on mobile or it can only be opened on the laptops. Okay, so if he has activated that mobile option, then you can also open that link from your mobile devices.
Okay.
Okay, so any questions on SAP Fiori? Because I think this was the only thing that we wanted to discuss on SAP Fiori. We have another session on SAP Fiori, not now. It would be once we complete our financial processes, the simplifications that we are talking about. So after that, we'll be having one session where I'll be showing you which are the apps relevant to financial accounting and controlling, which we'll be using for day-to-day processing. Okay, so let me just go through from slide 1 whether we completed everything or we have something left, because in tomorrow's session we will be talking about SAP Activate methodology. So if there is anything,
I have a question here, Gaurav. Yeah,
yes.
so my understanding that whether all the customers who are going to use with S4HANA, is it mandatory for them Fiori, or they can still follow the S4HANA with the traditional way of extracting the reports?
Okay. See, it is not mandatory first of all. Okay, so customers can still decide to go with their traditional GUI, but also since Fiori is not costing you separately. Okay, so Fiori is bundled in the same product. So definitely customers want to implement as soon as possible. But the thing is, the first priority for the customer is making sure that the business is run up and running, right? And that is the reason Fiori priority, they are keeping it separately. So they are first implementing their SAP S4HANA with the simplified processes and making sure that the business processes are running correctly. And then in the second phase, they are concentrating on which Fiori apps are important and which should be activated. But yes, it is, to answer your question, it is not mandatory to use SAP Fiori from day one.
And another, thanks for answering that one. And another thing is that, is this customizable? I mean, the user can create a new report as per their need, or they have to follow the standard reports based upon the roles and the mappings available?
No, see, normally how it goes is whenever you are implementing SAP. So let's take a simple example. What we do today, when we are going for SAP ECC implementation, what we do, we understand which user is responsible for which particular transaction. And then based on those transactions, we ask our security consultant to provide the roles. Same thing will be applicable in SAP Fiori also. So for example, you have a user matrix. In the user matrix, you already said this user will be responsible for creating the vendor invoice, making the vendor payment. Now for creating the vendor invoice, this is an app. For making the vendor payment, this is an app. So which role should I provide to this user so that he is able to access both those apps?
I got it. My question was a little different. I understand segregation of duties based upon which these roles are defined. So
Okay.
that. My question was that in a traditional way like ECC6, customers are using lots of custom reports also.
Yes.
Here, it's offering you standardized reports, right? So basically, it's a dashboard. So apart from doing the GUI reportings, you can extract the same thing to the Fiori, which is a much better way of representing the data, which is running in the background to the high senior management. My question is that if I'm using some custom transactions, some custom reports in my traditional way, traditional system, can I also develop some custom reports under the Fiori?
Yes, definitely. I told you this enablement option, right? So let me take you to enablement option. So if you remember, I told you there are 3 different kinds of apps that you will be running on SAP Fiori. One is whatever is provided by SAP. So as you said, dashboards and all, this is something completely new, which is available for SAP on the first time. Second is renew, which means the standard transactions that you were running on SAP ECC, those can be used on SAP Fiori. And third one is whatever reports you want to develop, you can directly develop on SAP Fiori using this SAP Fiori enablement tools.
So yeah, this was my question. Thanks for answering that. Maybe I missed it.
No problem. So yes, in Fiori also you can create your own Z screens. But only thing is, whenever you are creating something new on Fiori, see, normally as a functional consultant, we need to provide the functional specifications. So in this functional specifications, there will be 2 parties involved who is actually going to work. Because normally in ECC, we give this functional specs to ABAP, because ABAP is responsible for front end and back end both. But in this case, it is Fiori plus ABAP, because Fiori will be designing your front end and back end will be developed by ABAP. So that is the only difference.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Akash, do you have any question? Mahesh? Okay, let me just quickly go through the slides and see if is there anything which we need to discuss as part of day 3 or maybe till now, whatever 3 days we covered. So we discussed about challenges, we discussed about business challenges, IT challenges, what is S/4HANA, evaluation, this one. We discussed about HANA, what are the problems and what are the solutions. We discussed Fiori today. And then we discussed about deployment options yesterday. What is the difference between on-premise and on-cloud? Adoption options also we discussed yesterday. What is system conversion? What is landscape transformation? Yes, we can discuss about the simplification list. Maybe this is the last topic for today. And then tomorrow we will start with SAP Activate. Now, what is the simplification list? Simplification list is a PDF document. Okay, this is not a functionality. This is just a PDF document. I provided a link here, but this link you can see it is for 1709 because this PPT is a little bit older. But now even you will be able to see the simplification list for 1809 also. Okay, so how to get that list? So again, you just go to, maybe I'll connect to the server once again. And in server, I will just write, let's go to Google. Okay, and just write SAP S/4HANA 1809. If you remember, yesterday I had shown you this help portals. Okay, so for both, for cloud as well as for on-premise. And I told you there are some important documents which I'll ask you later to go through. Okay, so one of the document is simplification list. So let me write help on-premise or something to get that link. Yeah, this one. SAP S/4HANA, SAP Help Portal for on-premise. So if you just open this, okay. If you remember, yesterday we have seen this. What are the different versions available from 1511 onwards? So for 1809, this link will provide you a lot of information. Okay, so there will be a lot of PDFs, there will be a lot of things which SAP is trying to communicate. So what is new? in SAP 1809. Getting started guide, which means how to start with 1809. Okay, so some new functionalities, like there is something called as SAP Digital Payments add-on. Okay, so what is that? But most importantly, at least download these two documents which I'm telling you. One is simplification list for SAP S4HANA, and second is this conversion guide. These two documents are very important. Conversion guide will be required only during the system conversion project. Okay, so I will explain you this conversion guide completely when we'll be talking about the system conversion sessions. But as of now, the simplification list for SAP S4HANA is a must document. So what exactly is simplification list? See this, what it is saying is focuses on what needs to be considered in implementation migration project from SAP ERP to SAP S4HANA, which means this list will tell you what is new in SAP S4HANA compared to SAP ECC. Maybe let's try to open. It is around 1000 pages document, but you don't need to worry. The reason is it is for all the modules, not only for FI. All modules, all industry specific solutions, all add-ons, everything is covered in this document. So you need to go to that proper section for financial accounting, and it will tell you from FI point of view whatever has been changed. So this is around 1007 pages document. Okay, so you can see the list of topics. If you want to find for financial accounting, you can see for accounts payables and receivables, for asset accounting, for general, you can see it is around 25 to 30 pages, not much, maximum 50 pages. Okay, but it will tell you what has been changed. For example, let's go to the data model changes. Data model means which tables are removed and which tables are available. Okay, so you can see the sections are the symptom. Okay, so what will go wrong? So you are doing a system conversion to SAP S4HANA on-premise edition. The following S4HANA transition worklist item is applicable in this case. So this particular thing is only applicable if you are performing the conversion project. Okay, so little bit of description is provided, and you can see here the list of the tables which are no more available in S4HANA. Okay, so it is giving you the complete list of tables which you will not find available in S4HANA system. So in short, this simplification list is a list of all those changes which are applicable in SAP S4HANA compared to SAP ECC. Okay, so the first one is list of tables. The second one would be the functionalities. You can see replace transaction codes. So which transaction codes are replaced with which new transactions? You can see a transaction code, for example, FS01 is now replaced with FS00. So you'll not be able to execute FS01. It will automatically redirect you to transaction this one. So all these things we will be discussing in detail, but I'm just providing you the glimpse of what exactly you will find in the simplification list. Okay, so I told you how to download the simplification list. Just go to Google and write simplification list for 1809. It is a PDF document. Okay, so this one is done. So I think we are done. We can start with SAP Activate tomorrow. Any questions before you close? No questions? Okay then, so let's close early for today, and we'll meet tomorrow again at 7:30 IST. Thank you.